Alright, hello all, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video here. So, we did just have the insane, practically Dokkan Battle 2 uh, producer's video letter, whatever you want to call it. And we also revealed the New Year's units. And, of course, we have Glorio and Super Saiyan Goku Mini as the dual Dokkan Fest this year. I'm actually kind of surprised. There's no banner units for they don't usually, but for like superhero they did. So I would have figured potentially we would have seen some banner units for New Year's if it was Daima, but we didn't get any. Not the biggest deal, cause these guys are pretty fire. Now I have already taken a a brief look at them in the stream, but I just want to go over them a bit more here, and then also that now that I'm not being like flooded with information and Amatsu and Ken talking and you know that way we can also get the calcs in here at the end because we didn't have like the stats before, so I kind of do it in the other video. But yeah, let's discuss. So Glorio here. Uh, and I mean both of them are pretty insane. But so we're starting off here. Demonic Power category key 3 200% attack, uh, defense HP lead, just sort of like how Roshi has. But he's also Battle of Wits and Accelerated Battle. Key 3 170, and he gives an additional 30% to those who belong to Dragon Ball Seekers. So you know, it's a pretty good leader skill, I'd say. The Dragon Ball Seekers, that could be rough. So, the other two categories, 100%. Like, I'm not gonna deny that. Uh, but I mean, even the 170 should be pretty nice. And that being said, uh, he is definitely he's something. So I do want to. Where is it here? It's a super attack. Okay, so this guy. Here's a stacker. So I'm just gonna put that right now. Very intrigued. Now it is a pretty low amount to be honest. Obviously here, but this is the first time we've actually seen. I did want to make note of this right now. This is the first time we've seen this. So he's a stacker who's also raising in the turn, which is actually pretty interesting. Now Glorio here, right, has quite a passive. So you know we're starting off here with uh an additional that has a great chance of becoming a super tech for one turn from character's entry turn. Key 3, 200% attack and defense. Launch an additional attack that's a high chance of becoming a super attack, high chance of evading enemy attack, including super attack. Launch another additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack as the second or third attacker in turn. All allies, key 1, attack and defense plus 50% for 3 turns as a third attacker in a turn. Okay. That's just casual. Plus an additional attack and defense plus 150% when attacking, plus an additional attack and defense plus 50% within the same turn with each attack performed, plus an additional 30% attack and chance of evading enemy attack, including super attack, plus 10% up to 30%. Within the same turn with each super attack performed, launch an additional super attack every time the character performs a super attack 3 or more times in battle, up to once within a turn. So his first turn, he can do just six super attacks, casual. Uh, and from then on, he can do 5. Um, you see this kit, and if you want to bury your head in the sand and say la 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 la, power creep isn't coming. Uh, you can do that, but I mean, this is him and Goku both are just like insane. Like they look so insane on paper here. I mean, I guess we'll see how they are in game, but they are so insane on paper that it's just like the power creep. It's gonna be something. Now that being said, uh, he does also have an active, but it's just like greatly raised attack temporarily. It's just like a big attack. Uh, it's fine. It's pretty easy. I mean, he can practically get it guaranteed after his first turn. Although, there is this. So his link set is garbage. Like speedy retribution, you know, Like, I don't know about that. Like they're so like Brainiacs, right? That's good. Cold Judgment, it's good, right? I think Master of Magic is even good. It's like what, 10%, 15%, some odd attack and defense. It's something like that, I think. I can actually check in game. But that being said, right, even if it is good, these are pretty rough links to activate, and he's only on 5 categories. So those are both pretty rough things. Uh, but if you can, you don't even like, even if you don't have him as like a leader, like you could just throw him on a team, right? On any of, I mean, it's only 5 categories, but on any of his 5 categories, you just throw him on. You don't even have to keep him in rotation, right? Like if you're running a Lord Slugs team or something, right? The big villains. He has a super class unit, which is kind of weird. You know, um, but I guess it makes sense. He does have some. So I mean, it's the fight that they do, but we already know by that fight that he's working with well, spoiler alert if it wasn't obvious, uh, that he's working with a Rainzu to some degree. So I guess he's on super right now, but maybe later iterations of Glorio would be extreme class. Who knows? But I mean, just that support ability, like the amount of dodge and defense he's gonna have and stuff. Like this guy, I genuinely, you really shouldn't be baited by these banners, but especially because they do come back New Year's time. Not New Year's, Golden Week, excuse me. Uh, I'm currently thinking I'm gonna summon on Glorio. Just saying that right now. Uh, he looks like he'd be perfect not only for a stacking video for himself, uh, but also that support would be very helpful for other characters stacking videos. So I don't know. We'll see, but I'm definitely enticed. We'll see what the banners look like. Now that being said, we do also have Goku here, and once again, I mean, we're just it's insane. So he leads Transformation Boost or Dragon Ball Seeker category key 3, 170, and then an additional HP, attack and defense, 30% obviously, for Pure Sands or Accelerated Battle. That should be a pretty good leader skill all around. That I'm definitely that I like both their leaders because I mean Goku's is much better, but I think the leader skills are good on both of them. Now I do want to point this out here real quick. The SA effect. Oh wait, it's actually on this separate tab. His SA effect greatly raise attack and defense for 3 turns, and raise allies' attack by 41% for 2 turns. Like this is so. Okay, hold on. Goku here. He activates entrance animation. Once only, obviously, and reduce damage received by 20%, chance of evading enemy attack, including super attack, plus 20% for 1 turn from character's entry turn. It's getting key 3, 200% stats, reduce damage received by 30%, high chance of evading enemy attack, including super attack. Then, plus 100% defense, and chance of evading enemy attack, plus 20% as the first or second attacker in a turn. Plus an additional attack plus 100%, and launch an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack as the second attacker in turn. So he gets his insane defensive buff and offensive buff as the second attacker. But you can also just, if you need like a good slot one, I mean, his first turn he has he has 50% damage reduction, 90% evasion, and by the way, we're not even done. Um, 200% defense, when receiving an attack, plus an additional attack, plus 50% up to 200% with each attack received or evaded, starting from the character's next attacking turn after the character evades the 5th attack in battle, starting from the 6th turn from the character's entry turn, plus an additional attack plus 159% attack effective against all types. Like, this is insane. Like, he's just. And this thing, right? This 2-turn support in the second slot, he has the additional. It's a high chance of becoming a super. If you put additional on this guy, right, in the hidden potential, in the second, so let's say he does 3 supers. That means the third character in the entire next rotation are going to be receiving 123% attack support. Is that good? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? It's oh my god. Like these characters just look so insane to me. I mean, I'm gonna be doing the calcs here at the end, but like it's just what the fuck? Like, like I just I they they cooked. That's that this whole they cooked. That's the way to sum this all up. I'm genuinely just like so shocked that they just yeah, I don't know. Okay. By the way, Master Magic, I did look it up here. Attack 15%, enemy defense down 10%. That's kind of so. I mean, Glorio's link set is kind of garbage. And on that note, Goku's link set, obviously, I mean, Golden Warriors, but like the rest of these, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, all in the family prepared for battle, fierce battle. Like Goku's link set is pretty damn insane. And then, he has an active skill here. This is much tougher to get than Glorio's. Can be activated after the character evades 5 more enemy attacks in battle, or starting from the 6th turn from the character's entry turn once only. But that being said, Glorio's is greatly raised, while his is massively raised. Now, to be fair, Glorio is also a stacker. Now, it's a small amount, but when you consider that he can super, 6 or 5 times in a turn, and I mean it's certainly not as much as like even if you get unlucky with the supers, I mean even like a normal raise attack could be worth more, but the fact that it's this and this, it's like so insane. Uh okay, I mean yeah, I just wow. Okay, I do want to do the calcs for these guys, and we'll see just how crazy they are. I'm pretty excited to get those out. Uh, I genuinely like right now. I'm on paper. I think Gloria might be like to me. Like number one. TUR. Like he just. Well, I mean, we'll see. But like they just both look so insane to me on paper. I mean, I'm also like really hyped right now, so I might have some blinders on. 100,000%. Uh, but they both look so insane to me. All right, we'll cut it right here. We'll come back and we'll get some of these calcs done for Glorio and Goku and see just how crazy both of them are. All right, so we are back, and yeah, they get pretty crazy to say the least. So we're gonna start off with Glorio, and here we go. Uh, I, he is something special, right? I mean, you see this getting the just raw defense getting up to 5.3 million defense with might I add, uh, in that scenario he would have 80% dodge. So 80% dodge plus 5.3 million defense. Is that good? I'm not sure. I don't. Maybe not good. But then let's say you don't get the 5th edition. Okay, well you get this one, and guess what? You're still at this point at 80% dodge. Oh hey, and by the way, let's say you don't get this one, or you don't get this one right here, and then you get this one. Guess what? Still 80% dodge. Up to this point, 80% dodge. These 3 is all you need for the 80% dodge. Uh, he is, and I mean you go down here. Of course, he does lose the one super, but uh, and this is just 10 stacks. I felt like this was pretty fair. So this is like, you know, because some of a decent bit of these aren't like guaranteed. So do keep that in mind. Uh, but this scenario is like, roughly like a turn and a half worth of stacks. I mean, considering you can get six. Well, I guess it's more like 2 turns worth of stacks. Um, more or less. Point being, I mean, this just goes to show. I mean, sure, you don't have the fifth additional anymore. Uh, but I mean, quickly. I mean, if it's a long event, I guess I should say. You could even surpass the level that you get from the fifth additional. I mean, his stacks are pretty slow. But having the stacks, I mean, it's definitely extremely valuable, I would say. And I did just calc him here, by the way, with only Brainiacs. Um, I felt like that was fair considering, some of the other units on demonic power. That being said, I mean, you could very easily also just like, yeah, shocking speed or, cold judgment, like this guy is. I mean, if I calc him at his full potential, and this is just disregarding. Oh, no, sorry, that was last. I had Spotify still open. That's what that pop up was. It's just disregarding, right? Any domains like I can show you. You know, I, I mean this is Goku's calcs, but I have the domain thing here. I did not calc the domain at all for Glorio. There's no domain buff here at all. Like if you're running him with Slug, well, what's the domain buff like? 15%? You had 15% on top of this number. um, it's it's ludicrous. It really is. I genuinely think, and I mean the attack set. I actually don't know currently how to do attack sets calcs. I do want to learn at some point, but I don't know yet. That being said, I mean the damage this guy's going to be doing is off the charts. It's going to be insane. It really is. Now to be fair, he doesn't have like any you know super effective or crits or anything. I'm pretty confident. Yeah. But I mean you could easily just build him that, right? It's not like you could just throw crit on. Right? And even if you don't, I mean you're throwing out so many supers that you're going to do damage. I mean, he's definitely doing damage to Goku and Frieza and stuff. Like the multiplicatives here are just insanity. They really are. uh, it is. He's so crazy. He really is. I now Goku here is also pretty insane. That being said, he is not as good as a Glorio. This does look a little like, oh, what's this? I mean, he doesn't actually have. I didn't even realize before. I was like, wait, that's not right. He actually doesn't have any sort of phase 2 buffs. Besides this right here, when receiving an attack. Now, this does activate before the attack actually hits you. Um, but that does, it's kind of worrying. I mean, his first turn, I mean, 90% dodge though is like, he's very, very safe. With 50% damage reduction as well. But I think you'd really want to run this guy in a slot 2, take advantage of that additional and just play around with that. I mean, considering he's gets up to like 70% chance to dodge, 30% damage reduction, I would say this is pretty decent level. Um, but like it just and this is even with 25%, right? I gave him all the fam and prepared for battle. Like um Glorio's just like Glorio's Glorio, right? Glorio's Glorio is insane. And to be fair, they I think Glorio's pretty hype, relatively speaking, but there's a lot of people that he's quote unquote less hype, so they knew they had to make him cracked and they they succeeded. I would say. Uh, but yeah, there we go. There's the calcs. I'm actually just blown away by the news this night. Like this is just he's busted. He's insane. He's everything you could have wanted. I'm gonna wrap this one up here though. Uh, I think Gloria is number one. TUR easily. I guess we'll see in game, but easily. But yeah. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Take care.